Okay, welcome to Behind the Lens. I am Kiambra Chandler,
And I am Guy Argent.
and welcome to Behind the Lens of DMR. Okay, so today we're going to be chatting it up with Chef Charles. No, we're not. We're going to be, okay, let's start over. Okay, today we're going to be chatting it up with Chef Guy Argent. Hello, Guy.
Hello, Kiambra.
He is my co-host on our new podcast, and we are looking forward to a nice little series here for the DMR contractors as well as clients. So, Guy, tell us who you are and some personal things we should know about you.
Oh, my name is Guy Argent. With DMR, I hold the position of Vice President of Culinary Operations. Going back in my history, I am trained as a chef. Went through the program at Forest Park, St. Louis Community College, which has a great culinary program there. Worked my way up through a variety of restaurants. Started out in a restaurant at Henry VIII Inn and Lodge, which was a 4-star gourmet restaurant. I've managed everything from chain restaurants like Red Lobster to Pantera's Pizza to my own catering company to just a large variety of things in the food service business.
What was your relationship like with Doug, or if you can elaborate on that?
Back in the late 80s, I was doing corporate food service, working at the Monsanto site in Creve Coeur.
Oh, okay.
About 87, I guess, Doug started DMR and started providing service staff to some of the corporate dining operations when we had events, because none of the places really kept a catering department on hand, but we had events where we needed it. And so I came to know Doug then, and then a couple years later they started doing culinary staff as well. And a lot of the contractors that he used for events were from his customer base. So if there was an event, say on a Saturday or an evening, they would call around to the customers and say, hey, Guy, do you want to work this event for us Saturday or whatever? And it was all as an independent contractor. But we developed that relationship where we were both customer and contractor working with DMR.
Okay. So how did you transition to becoming an IC with Doug?
Anytime that I wasn't working in the corporate food service world, everything's contracted and that. And so there's times where you might think it's going great and the customer changes corporate contractors. And so sometimes you find yourself out of a job,
Right.
or you find yourself in a situation where you need extra money. DMR always afforded me that opportunity that I was never without work.
Right.
Whether it was being my primary source of income or needing extra income, it was a phone call away. Tell DMR your availability, and if work was there, they'd send me out. They were happy. I got to make some extra money.
Nice, nice. So if someone were to come to you and advise that they've been interested in becoming a chef or a cook, what advice could you give them in the industry today versus in the 80s? Have you noticed like a difference in, the occupation at all?
There's a big difference. When I was coming up, everybody started out pretty much as a dishwasher or busboy or whatever, and you kind of worked your way up through a restaurant, and then you would move around to different restaurants, clubs, whatever, to gain your experience, and usually kind of move up status-wise where you were.
Right.
In the last 20 years or so, culinary training had become kind of a fad, where before there was a few top schools that were very good and gave a great culinary training. We got into a situation where a lot of schools popped up. A lot of the employers wanted their new hires to have that schooling. But unfortunately, that schooling by itself didn't give anybody real life knowledge.
Right, yeah.
They were charging a lot for the schools, and the people were coming out thinking they were either going to be a celebrity chef with a TV show,
Right, of course.
or walk into a $70,000-$80,000 executive chef job. And unfortunately, that's just not the case.
Hello, everybody. We interrupt this podcast for a brief commercial. We are currently doing a fundraiser with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and we are trying to raise as much money as we can so that we can help find a cure for blood disease. I know many of us have been affected by cancer, whether it be personal or someone that we may love or know. We've all been in contact with this ugly disease, and we would like to put an end to it as soon as possible within our lifetime. We would like for you to donate whatever you can, whether it be $1, $5, $10, $200, $1,000, whatever you can do. We will most certainly appreciate your support. You can support by clicking the link in the description box and donating there, or you can go to DMRSTL.com and click the Man and Woman of the Year tab and make your donation at that page as well. We thank you in advance for supporting DMR STL and for supporting the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Now back to the DMR podcast.
In St. Louis, you'll see that really the only culinary training school that is left is the program at Forest Park. All the other ones folded up because that type of training, just didn't suffice to get to people where they were telling them that they were going to be.
Right, which is a great program. So when you're looking for an IC, what characteristics are you looking for? What quality, what skills should they be bringing to the forefront? What are you looking for?
Well, I think the thing that people don't understand, they look at us as a temp company and think of us as being perhaps the door into culinary careers, or the starting point, the lowest rung. In actuality, we see ourselves as a talent agency.
Right.
And to do this job well, you can't be just starting out. What I look for in a cook or a chef is somebody that can walk into a kitchen, raise their hand, hey chef, I'm here, what do you need me to do, and go to work.
Right.
Unfortunately, the situations that I send people into, there's no learning curve.
Right.
There's no training days. When our customers call us, it's not, I'm going to need somebody in 2 weeks and I'd like to train them in the meantime for this position. It's, I need somebody today or to start tomorrow, and they need to be able to work.
Right, just getting there and get started. Okay.
So I'm always looking for guys that have some well-rounded experience, have a confidence level that allows them to be comfortable going in, starting work right away, or knowing the questions to ask and not being too shy about it, but yet not being so cocky that they want to go in and tell the customer how they should be doing it.
Right, absolutely. Still learnable, teachable, all of that jazz. Okay, so once someone gets to the point where they believe that they are qualified to work with DMR, how should they apply? What should they expect when interviewing? Can you give us a little insight on that?
That has improved immensely over the last few years. In the early days of DMR, even the early times after I had come on, application was pretty much calling Doug or myself or Mike and, hey, I'm available.
Right.
Can you work today? Yes. Do you have the clothes? Okay, go, and we'll fill out paperwork later.
Yeah, right.
Those days are gone, thankfully. We do have systems in place where it's real easy. There's links from our website where you can go to dmrstl.com and find the link, and that will take you through a process that will ask you some questions, get the basic information, and actually help you to set up an appointment with our HR director to get the ball rolling.
Well, thank you so much for chatting it up with us, Chef Guy.
Certainly, anytime.
Is there any more information that we should know?
I just want people to know that, DMR is a force in the food service industry in St. Louis. Doug's been around for a long time. I've been in this market for 40 years. We know the people in St. Louis food service, and we not only want to build our business, but we're here working to help build the industry for all of us.
Thanks everybody for tuning in to our first Behind the Lenses of DMR. Next time we're going to be talking to the man, the founder himself, Doug Risch. So be sure to tune in next month for that sit down so you can know exactly how DMR started from 1987 to 2020. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and I'm excited to hear about the DMR story. That podcast will be hosted by Chef Guy himself, who's been around pretty much from the beginning. So tune in next month. We'll talk to you then.